Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and welcome to another episode for the Coaching Conversations podcast. Now, we are on Stitcher, we are on iTunes, and multiple different channels. Please check us out. Now, one of the things that you'll get out of our podcast episodes is a lot of content, a lot of strategy. It's not fluff, it's not concept, yet we really want you to engage with the content and let us know your feedback. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. If there's topics you'd love to have us address, we would love to share them with you. Let us know your impact and let us know your feedback. The industry world is about to rapidly change. I had a great conversation the other day with a client of mine and a really good friend, and I'll never forget this because she made a comment, and it's something I do every single day. And I thought, you know what? I never thought of that. Now, I have been assessment agnostic. I'm certified in EQ. I'm certified in the Motivator. I'm certified in DISC. I build my own assessments. And I think assessments serve a really good purpose. And I think that's to get conversations going. Now, do I think that everybody should do Myers-Briggs or DISC or EQ? No. What I do find very interesting in this world of assessments is we tend to certify people to do them. They go out and they do this assessment. And then they say we have to do a debrief. And there's kind of a parallel to the coaching challenge that I face and our industry faces. If you have a conversation with somebody who is negative with an attitude, and we have one conversation, do we really deep down think, yeah, that person is cured? I've solved that problem. Probably not. And the same thing happens with assessments. So I remember when I met with my coach, Ed Hennessy, about EQ, and he said, what do you think your low score is? And I said, empathy. Now, I'm really in tune with self-coaching. I'm really in tune with coaching. And we did a debrief, and it was awesome. And I thought, if I don't put that stuff into practice, or if most people don't put that into practice, what's going to happen? Now, I know that some certified coaches out there are going to get upset by what I'm about to share. And that is, well, wait a minute, we do take the assessments forward. We do meet with our people. I'm not criticizing that. I think that's great. What I'm saying is that there's a different opportunity in the assessment industry. What if we took assessment results and we mapped them to expectations? If we mapped them to leaders, not only understanding the assessment results, but also crafting a coaching plan that drives the results. Let me give you an example. I have two people that need to work together. One is a high D and part of the executive team. The other person is an underling, probably at a middle to upper level management level, and that person is an I. And I asked the person, both have had their DISC results, both have had their debriefs done by a certified coach. And I said, well, let me ask you something. What is your next step with your executive in terms of building a relationship and collaborating? Well, I try to talk to him all the time and you know, he never has time for me. And I also have a client who's a high D. I happen to be a high I. So what's interesting is with my executive, we typically don't talk from Monday to Friday because I had to be very self-aware that I'm probably a pretty lengthy interruption because as I's, we're verbal, we got ideas. High D's want to move on to the next problem that they got to solve. They got a lot on their plate, and they're typically quick and decisive. And yes, they dominate, and they're domineering in a good way. So here's what's really funny. When I went back to this client and I said, well, how are you making it easy for that person to collaborate with you? Remember, both understand one another high level, but they haven't put it into practice. That's where the coaching plan comes in. That's where the map comes in of saying, here's what we need to do every 2 weeks. Here's what we need to do every week or every month. Here's the things we can do on our own to collaborate with the other person. See, I'm not against assessments. I love assessments. I have a degree in evaluation systems from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. What I think that we've created this fallacy of is that we do these debriefs and then all of a sudden we think, well, we've solved a problem. No, we haven't. I'll give you one more example. I have a client who certifies their whole company that they have unlimited, I think they have unlimited access to Myers-Briggs, which is a personality assessment. DISC is behavioral. EQ is emotional intelligence. Each has their own purpose. How often do we mix that? When we say, oh, DISC is a personality assessment or EQ is a personality assessment. No, they're not. And so while coaches are experts and they're really well-versed in this, leaders are not, because they're already running their own jobs. And I remember talking to someone at this client site, and they said, well, yeah, we really doubled down on Myers-Briggs. And I sat there and I was really struggling. And this person, I had literally told her probably 10 times throughout the years I've worked with her, I'm an ENFJ. I'm an extrovert, no shock. And I asked her, I said, there are 16 quadrants in Myers-Briggs. I'm not against Myers-Briggs. But I said, here's some people coming down the hallway. And I asked her, I said, what's his profile? What's her profile? She couldn't answer it once. Now, I know that sounds harsh. And she looked at me, she goes, boy, you really got me thinking. I said, right. It's hard to assimilate and put into action. That's where the coaching plan needs to be done. See, if we can create output from assessment results and make it easy for peers to collaborate, make it easy for a leader to coach, make it easy for an individual contributor or a leader to self-coach. See, I think what's happening is this industry is going to get really, really disrupted. Here's why. My friend had somebody come to her and say, hey, you should take our assessment. We're going to charge you this amount in unlimited assessments. And we give you a number of debriefs. She said, I can take your assessment results and put it up into ChatGPT. And they were dumbfounded. That's what I think is going to start to occur. So what's the alternative? What if there was a way, and oh yeah, here it comes, we've built it. What if there's a way to take any assessment and convert it into an actionable coaching plan, whether it be a coaching guide, a 12-week plan, a 48-week plan, tied to specific objectives, even stated outside the assessment? Intriguing, isn't it? Reach out to us if you have questions. Thank you for listening to another episode of Coaching Conversations by Tim Hagen and Progress Coaching. Now, our company is always coming out with new and innovative solutions to help leaders coach their employees. And recently, we just created a new service called Coach to You, where leaders can pick and choose topics and assign 7 to 21-day programs for employees to learn and, more importantly, apply actions and then reflect and share what they're going to do going forward as a result of the learning. It's called Coach to You. We're literally bringing coaching to your employees. If you're intrigued, we'll have a link in each one of our episodes where you can get more information. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode.